Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
He's actually not here. I mean, he's here, but he stepped out, and I think he forgot I don't think he knows what time it is.
But he does know that this is his show, right?
It's his show, and it is 6 o'clock Central Time, which is, I mean, typically it's when we start the show every day, roughly
I think I hear him coming in.
Okay, good. Hi, Pat. Well, welcome to your show. I don't know if you forgot what time it begins. It typically starts around 6 o'clock, give or take.
When did that start?
It's a new thing we're trying, and I'm sorry you didn't get the memo on that.
I was sure it was 6:15. 6 o'clock?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Weird.
We're trying it.
That's weird.
If you're not able to get here by 6 o'clock, we may move.
I think that's a lot to ask.
Move the time to 6.
Frankly, all of a sudden now I get here at 6 o'clock.
And the lady lied. You know how you're always saying how she knows everything about you?
She didn't this time.
She said Pat Gray is here.
And he wasn't.
Lies!
Lying sack.
Well, welcome to your show.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Yeah.
Really, really good to be here. Wow, I guess I lost track. I was just taking my time.
Yeah, I think it was honestly just
office.
wandering around the property.
I was literally here, obviously.
You were up there chatting it up with the security guard. I knew you were just unaware of what time it was.
Wow.
Goodness. Anyhow,
Okay, well, welcome.
we've covered everything in that stack already, though.
Have you?
So now whatever else you got,
All right.
bring it.
We'll see if there's anything else to talk about. There can't be, right?
No.
I mean, it's not like anything's going on right now.
Slow news year.
I saw a stat yesterday. In Chicago, murders up to this point last year, they had 275. So far in 2020, they have 411. 411 murders in Chicago. And we're barely halfway through the year. Jeez. So obviously, gun control and persecuting the police both working really well in Chicago. They got it down to a science now. So congratulations to Chicago. You know, I've been catching up on some of my dystopian entertainment books, movies, and the like.
What even?
Going back through 1984 by George Orwell. Have you ever read that?
Yeah, long time ago. But yeah, we're living these times. Yep.
Yeah, it had been a while for me too. And when you start reading about that and the newspeak and the lies that are being told all the time by the government and people just gobble them up. I mean, it's incredible, but it's exactly what's going on right now.
Yeah, we're living a wonderful representation of both 1984 and Idiocracy. Yeah,
with the Brave New World sprinkled in there somewhere.
See, I've never read that one. Mm-hmm.
But, for instance, in 1984, there's Oceania, there's Eurasia, and there's East Asia. Remember those three powers on Earth? Oceania was created by the United States gobbling up the British Empire. Eurasia was created by Russia taking control of Europe. And then China and all the rest of the nations were East Asia. So in the beginning of the book, Oceania and East Asia are allies against Eurasia. So, I mean, they have all the propaganda against Eurasia and how bad those people are, how evil they are. They must be destroyed. Our phenomenal troops are doing a great job killing the enemy. And then about, not even halfway through the book, they switch allies. And now we're allies with Eurasia, and our enemy is East Asia. And that's the way it's always been. Never have we been at war with Eurasia. We've just always been at war against East Asia. And the people buy it. Well, do we not see that kind of thing happen every single day? Just the flat-out lies that are said to our face. And we just, so many people just buy it. And the rest of us are like, oh, wait, what? Wait, okay, masks are now 100% effective in not spreading the disease? You told us they were worthless in the beginning unless you had a certain kind of a mask, and even those were only 95% effective. Now the cloth masks and whatever other layered masks there are, those are really effective. Okay. Wait, it can't spread on the surface, right? Right. Mm-hmm. Wait, now it does spread on a surface? Yes, and it's always spread on a surface.
Well, I mean,
Oh.
but the good thing about masks is that no one can see what facial expression you're making behind it, so therefore you can't get
Sure.
punished for that, like in 19.
I mean, it's pretty amazing. I watched with my two youngest boys the other night. We watched Soylent Green because they were curious because we play the Soylent Green it's people thing all the time.
Soylent Green is made out of people. Soylent Green is people!
You know what year that takes place? It was written in 1973.
Oh no, don't say.
You know what year it is?
No.
2022.
That's so far away.
That's so far. That's such a
Oh.
distant.
How old are you going to be in 2022?
Oh, like 173.
See?
Like I don't even know. I don't know if ages go up that high. But I was kind of blown away because I mean it's here.
Yeah.
It's almost here. Now their bleak look at the future is a little different because their big deal. Well, they've got two big deals. One, population control, obviously. Supposedly, New York City alone has 40 million people in it. And people are sleeping in stairwells everywhere. You got to step over them when you want to walk up the stairs. And the other thing that's happening, global warming. So they don't have winter anymore. It's always hot. Nobody has air conditioning except the extreme elitists. So it's kind of interesting because at that time in real life, they were talking about global cooling. But at one point, the movie shows some of the benefits of rich people in 2022.
Oh, here we go.
I thought this was pretty funny. She's playing a video game. This very wealthy, the guy who owns the apartment is wealthy. The girl who lives there is just furniture. I guess the rich are provided with babes that they call furniture. Anyway, not terribly respectful to women. There might be a few lawsuits if that were to be real. But the woman who lives there is playing a video game in his apartment. And it's this space age looking video game machine. And the video game she's playing is asteroids. Wow. So that's your vision of 2022 is it will be so advanced you could play asteroids in your house.
I bet there's no Miss Pac-Man.
Probably not.
No, we're not that far advanced. In
It'd be Ms. Furniture if it was.
Furniture.
But anyway, here we are in our dystopian world, well past 1984 and almost to Soylent Green. So if they start feeding us some kind of food supplement or it's actual food, it's not even a supplement. If they start feeding you this green little square, just know that's made of your dead relatives. Okay?
All
right.
That's 3D food that we learned about yesterday.
Oh, right. That's right. We have that going on right now.
I'm sure that's just...
Was 3D printed chicken, right? And vegetables.
And they said, what did they say? It was
my gosh.
chicken cells with 3D. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. That's disgusting.
Right? And the next thing you know, they're going to be calling it cauliflower rice.
All right. We got a new worry, too, for 2020. And it's not even 2022 yet. But even with social distancing in place, doctors say parents need to check their kids for super lice.
Bum, bum, bum.
Look, it's a beetle. No, it's a bed bug. No, it's super rice.
Yeah, that's next on the docket. Where are we in the 2020 calendar now? I don't remember super lice. Is this a wild card thrown in there?
I think this is a wild card. Yeah, I don't think anybody foresaw super lice.
That's too bad.
With the canceled camps and classes, pediatricians are seeing fewer cases of lice right now, but that's because the kids aren't mingling. Doctors warn parents they need to be on the lookout for tiny bugs that have developed superpowers to resist treatment.
That's in the article, superpowers. So we're not treating them right now, so they're just hanging out, getting ready to explode on us.
And no doubt becoming resistant to anything you fight it with.
This is going to be good.
And so when everybody goes back to school, if they ever do, they're going to have super lice to deal with. Good. Of course, maybe they'll just not go back to school and you won't have to worry about super lice.
Yeah.
You just have to worry about the crappy education they're receiving online. Although we have some really good alternatives to learn online, which we'll tell you about. Also, we've got this amazing image on the road in front of a Planned Parenthood. This is in Utah. And
baby lives matter.
Somebody, is that an actual thing or did they just Photoshop it?
No.
It's really there?
I painted it.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Baby lives matter.
It's probably already been painted over. Who knows?
Baby lives matter. What a great time to do that.
Yeah, and what an outrageous statement. Can you believe that? I mean, there's a lot of hate wrapped up into that. You're saying the life of a baby matters? Who are you? Sicko.
By the way, a lot of those infants, were they allowed to be born, would be black.
Says you.
That I do say that. It's not just whitey that are having abortions. And you might notice that in the Planned Parenthood clinics are all located, I don't know, near neighborhoods of mostly black people.
Wow, what is that? What are you inferring there?
That they're trying to kill black babies.
No, it's that white women like to go for drives before they murder their babies.
Oh, is that what it is?
So they go down into the inner city.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't even see that.
I got that.
Huh.
Okay, I see what you're doing there.
Weird.
But yeah, exactly. They're in inner cities, vast majority of them, and to suggest that black babies should live, I guess, is a hateful message. So, like I said, I'm sure that's already been painted over there in Utah. So I'm glad we get that picture before.
I bet it has. But the good thing is, in New York, they're changing the name of one of their clinics from Margaret Sanger to something else. They're still performing what Margaret Sanger set up for them. You know, the reason that she set up these Planned Parenthood clinics was to exterminate blacks, and she's done a really good job of that so far, killing 16 million of them since 1973. Well, helping to kill 16 million. Not all 16 million, I'm sure, were aborted at Planned Parenthood, but many were. So rather than, eliminate or erase or fight against the eugenics she was talking about, the genocide she was talking about, we'll just change the name of it. So unbelievable.
That'll fix it.
Won't it, though? It really will. And things are going to get even better on that front because Democrats are, on-demand abortion right up to and including birth. They don't care anymore. There's just no restrictions whatsoever. They keep talking about Roe v. Wade. They've gone so far beyond Roe v. Wade. Roe v. Wade looks like a pro-life ruling now at this point. So it could get even worse if we have a Democrat elected president in November, which would be just catastrophic. We can't allow it to happen. Anyway, Nancy Pelosi keeps trying to make the phrase the Trump virus stick because, of course, she wouldn't want anything blamed on China, but it's perfectly acceptable. In fact, desirable to blame things on the president of the United States. Here she is with Wolf yesterday.
And in fact, clearly, it is the Trump virus.
Well, what do you mean when you say the Trump virus?
The Trump virus. If he had said months ago, let's wear masks, let's socially distance instead of having rallies and political whatever they were, then more people would have followed his lead.
Were they? Okay. Martha McCallum asked, let's see, where do I have that? Martha McCallum asked Kellyanne Conway, kind of the same it was the same theme yesterday when she was asking, because the president and the White House are now pushing the masks.
I think for the president himself to provide that information to the public and to very humbly and forthrightly come forward and say, look, it's going to get worse before it gets better. Wear a mask, socially distance, do these things that are important. And I would say to all those people out there who are resisting wearing a mask, listen, folks, it costs nothing. It takes 2 seconds.
Okay, can you believe this is coming out of her face? And I would say to the people who are not wearing a mask, listen, folks. Oh, you're going to lecture us now on not wearing a mask?
And you'll get your liberties back sooner if you wear your mask. But
I'll get my liberties back sooner if I wear a mask. Well, there's the admission right there that they're taking away our liberties in order to protect our safety. Which reminds me of something that both Franklin and Jefferson expressed when they said that he who is, this is more Jefferson. It's kind of a combination of the two. He who trades his liberty for his security will lose both and deserves neither. But don't worry about that.
Kellyanne, I mean,
things will
I
open up
guarantee
faster.
that there are people at home who listen to that and say, why didn't the White House have this message for all of us, 2 months ago? Why now? Why wasn't this, pushed and emphasized and encouraged by the president?
Okay, remember Newspeak now.
Back then, where it might have made even more of a
hear it.
difference.
The president did say in April if people want to wear a mask, they should wear a mask. We did have our health professionals early on saying it wouldn't help. And and we know now that it would. We have additional
and
studies.
We know now we're not at war with Eurasia or East Asia. We are at war with Eurasia. We've never been at war with East Asia. We know now that masks work, and they've always worked. And we should have been working with them back then. In fact, we were saying it back then. We said, please wear a mask. And don't worry about any of this. Because you'll get your liberties back eventually.
I mean, that's exactly what Mike DeWine in Ohio said yesterday. Exactly.
Oh, the freedom thing.
Yeah, he says.
Right?
He says the mask is a symbol of freedom.
Symbol of freedom.
And the sooner you wear it, the sooner you'll get your liberty back.
If we want to be able to go out and live our lives, this mask is a symbol of freedom. It's a symbol of freedom because if we wear these, if we get 75 to 80% of the people who are out in public who are wearing this mask, we are going to see these numbers get better.
So don't worry about your freedom and your liberty right now. Eventually you'll get it back. I don't want to hear your belly aching about your stupid freedoms and liberties.
It's the way we get our guns back when they're illegally confiscated.
Yeah, like they did in New Orleans, right?
Yeah,
okay, some people are still waiting for that, but they'll get them back eventually.
Get them back. What is your
Come
problem?
on, it's only been since 2005.
Do you want to be a part of the solution or part of the problem?
No, they are part of the problem. Anybody whining about their, I want my gun back from 15 years ago. Shut up.
I want my freedom back. You'll
shut up.
Get it back when the tough times pass, okay?
Plus, remember this line, freedom is slavery. Ignorance is strength. Just keep those things in mind. Okay? 2 + 2 = 5. And then just you follow along and you'll be a lot happier. Okay? Okay. We got this note from Scoremaster. Some updates on listeners from last week getting their credit scores changed.
Yeah, they've been working miracles for the audience.
Is pretty amazing because a lot of times from these from agencies that claim to fix your credit and your credit score. My credit score went up 7 points. It went up 7 points.
Oh.
Wow! Congratulations.
Probably qualified for that loan you were aiming for now, huh?
Try this: 185 points in under 30 days. Wow. One listener, 179 in 30 days. 123 points in 27 days for another. One of our listeners went from 684 to 799. You can get approved for almost anything if you got a credit score of 799. They have a great system that was created by credit data scientists. The average Scoremaster user raises their credit score 61 points in 20 days or less. Not just a couple of points, 61 points. It's the new science that super boosts your credit score faster and easier than anything you've tried before. Scoremaster puts you in control of your credit score. They've got this down, well, to a science. They tell you when to make payments, how much would be a good idea, when to add extra, and what will happen to your credit score. And they show you every step of the way the process to getting great credit. Having your best credit score helps really every aspect of your life. You get a loan if you want to buy a car, if you want to refinance your house. It's really important. And you can enroll in just minutes and see how many plus points you can add to your credit score. You'll be shocked how fast you can do this. Visit scoremaster.com/Pat. That's scoremaster.com/Pat.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
888-933-93. President fighting back just a tad. There's a new ad about Biden's America. He's gone from Sleepy Joe to more like, and I like this tack better, to Scary Joe. Check this out.
Seattle's pledged to defund its police department by 50%, even including a proposal to remove 911 dispatchers from police control.
Joe Biden said he's absolutely on board with defunding the police. Listen closely.
Yes, absolutely.
Hello, you've reached 911. I'm sorry that there is no one here to answer your emergency call, but leave a message and we'll get back to you as soon as we can.
Crime will rise significantly. I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
You won't be safe in Biden's America. Nobody will be there to answer your call. In a world where Joe Biden is president, no one is safe.
Sorry, I just can't stop doing that today.
And, Biden, in addition to not keeping us safe, in addition to the fact that, and this is the deal that nobody will talk about. Biden did say at that point, yes, absolutely. I think he was asked a direct question, are you in favor of defunding the police? And I think his answer was yes, absolutely. Now, since then, he has backed off that stance because it's not a winning strategy, and he knows it. Well, his advisors know it. I'm not sure if he even knows his own name right now, but they are steering him away from the defund the police effort. And that's the thing. But the Trump campaign seized on that early answer, and they've kind of stuck with it, even though he claims now he's not on board with that. But we keep finding out some, just how sharp Joe is. Here's another indication about some nursing practices.
What is this?
Listen to this.
And I had a nurse nurses at Walter Reed Hospital who would bend down and whisper in my ear. Wow. They'd go home and get me pillows. They would make sure they would
pause it for a second. So they would whisper in your ear, go home and get me pillows? Is that what he just said?
And at Walter Reed?
They would whisper in my bend over and whisper in my ear, go home and get me pillows. So then Joe would get up and go home, and he would get the nurses pillows.
Wow, he had a brain aneurysm back in the day, huh?
Oh, he did.
Yeah. See, this. I'm not.
That's right.
I'm not paying to access Delaware Online. Every time I open it, a pop-up comes up. But what?
That's right.
It just keeps talking about a brain aneurysm he had back in the day.
Okay, let's start this over and listen to this again because who knows what he's talking about here.
And I had a nurse at nurses at Walter Reed Hospital who would bend down and whisper in my ear. Wow. They'd go home and get me pillows. They would make sure probably nothing ever taught in, you can't do it in the COVID time, but
no, you can't.
They'd actually breathe in my nostrils to make me move, to get me moving.
Wait, they breathed in your nostrils
to get me moving.
That made you move.
Get you moving. Get you moving.
Because you would move away and say, hey, stop breathing in my nostrils. That's just weird.
Right.
What are you doing?
Yeah, that's...
Hey, are you trying to give like a CPR here? Is that what this is?
Either that or he's thinking, that's too close to my trick. Where I walk up on people and start sniffing them.
They would breathe
up your nose?
In your nostrils?
I'd be moving to another hospital.
Is that...
What in the world?
Wow.
That's...
Between that and the kids swimming up to him and touching his hairy legs.
By the way, I sit on the stand, and it get hot. I got hairy legs.
Right.
That turn blonde in the sun.
Okay.
And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down.
Oh,
so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again.
Oh, I see.
They look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I love kids jumping on my lap.
I mean, he was scarred from the nurses breathing up his nose. I mean, it's kind of like one of those, you can't blame the kid to grow up to be a freak. Look at how he was raised. Well, I mean, now we see what happened to Joe. He had nurses blowing up his nostrils.
And kids rubbing on his legs, jumping in his lap, teaching him about roaches. it's just so much to handle, and he just can't anymore.
I was about to say, we're lucky all he's doing is sniffing little girls' hair, but I don't know. Tara Reid says
Right?
otherwise.
With
so.
all he's been through, I don't know. Wow. That is creepy. And this guy, it's not funny. I mean, we laugh because the only other alternative is just to weep nonstop. As a man, just break down and weep openly. Just the rest of my life. That's the alternative. So we have to laugh because
we're pretty much there.
It keeps us from crying. This guy could be the president of the United States.
Sure, for 5 minutes.
Which is maybe even worse because it's going to be Kamala Harris or Elizabeth Warren. Instead, Stacey Abrams, I don't know, the mayor of Atlanta, Ilhan Omar, AOC, who knows who he'll ask. It's crazy. That is just nuts. How can you, as a Democrat, look at this guy and say, yep, there's my guy. I'm going to place my vote for him.
No, it's just like the left was years ago. It was anybody but Bush. And so they're anybody but Trump.
Even a guy who may be seriously mentally impaired. They don't care. It's like Mel Gibson said.
They'll one way or another, they will get their policies pushed through with him as their vessel.
Yep. And here's the thing.
They don't care.
They don't care. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. All right, 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. How do you even do it? How do you feel good about what's coming? The only way we can feel good, seriously, and is if this president continues to be the president for the next 4 years. And then we'll deal with the next election cycle at that time. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. But the fact is, as I've said multiple times, a Democrat can never win that national office ever again. They just can't. It's too important. It's too critical. They're too extreme.
Well, if he does win re-election, the cities will not be places you will want to even consider visiting, because what's happening in Portland right now will continue to happen in all sorts of major cities.
What is it, 56 straight days now of unrest?
Something like that.
I think it's 55 or 56 days
It's
straight.
a good place to be hanging out right now, for sure.
Yeah, if you live in Portland, I'm sorry. I'm so glad. We're so fortunate and blessed not to live there. What do you do?
I don't know. I've got a buddy that lives in Portland who I'm supposed to talk to this week. He lives within the city limits too.
Oh, wow.
So I look forward to him.
That's got to be fun.
I'm sure it is. So anyway, I'm going to talk to him and see what it's like down there on the ground. You know, Mayor Ted Wheeler yesterday or last night was hanging out with him, and boy, he is. It doesn't matter, Democrat mayors.
Mm-hmm.
They're never going to like you. It doesn't matter how much you show that you're on their side. We've seen this everywhere. We see this in Portland now. We've seen it in Seattle.
Oakland.
We've seen it in, Oakland now, right?
Oakland.
Yeah.
I mean, the Oakland situation, they visited the mayor at her house.
Oh, like a
2 o'clock in the morning. Just
2 in the morning.
just an impromptu get together at 2 o'clock in the morning to paint over her house and set up fireworks at 2 a.m. in her neighborhood.
But
why? She's on their side,
right,
and that's what they're doing. So what are they going to do when you're not on their side? That's how you get treated when you agree with them. Congratulations, Democrats. You got in bed with some really, really beautiful people. You really did. You know how to pick them. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Some tweets here. This from Pretty Princess Scuba Steve. Yesterday, it was 3D Chicken Day. Are we going to see a new Pat Gray's famous 3D printed kale recipe? That's not a bad idea.
Get on that.
Show you how to make that really edible, Show you how to make it really, really tasty. From Duffy, Pat being the social butterfly that he is, And thank you for noticing, by the way. Was talking the security guard's ear off and was late to his own show.
Yeah, that was unusual.
Yeah.
What were you
Not
talking
unusual
about?
that I'd be talking his ear off, just that I would lose track of time at the start of the show like that.
What were you talking about out there?
Oh,
Anyway,
all kinds of
they
things.
kept you delayed.
He asked me how my day was so far, and I love that question. So we really got into an in-depth look at my day so far. I told him each step since I turned off the alarm. And so, yeah,
Wow.
there's a lot going on.
A lot going on. I mean,
a lot going on there.
Pat Gray does more and tells the security guard about it in one day, and before the sun rises,
Right.
before most people do one day.
Pat Gray does more before 4 in the morning than most people do in a week. Cleo the hitchhiking dog, a pile of crap by any other name, smells like a pile of crap. I think Shakespeare said that about Planned Parenthood. Senior hernia. Dear everyone and anyone, my liberties are mine, given to me by God. That being a fact, you can't take them. Thank you for making that point. Not just wait a while. You get your liberties back. Shut up.
Right.
Calm down. Just wear the mask and be compliant. Will you please?
Chillax.
By the way,
Get 'em back.
we've never been. I don't know where this is coming from. We've never been at war with Iraq. We've always been at war with Saudi Arabia. Iraq has always been our ally. We've never been at war with them. It's always been Saudi Arabia. So just don't forget that, okay?
But that doesn't.
We'll put your head in a cage and you'll be sharing it with a rat.
That doesn't feel
pretty soon if you don't shut up.
Feel accurate.
If you don't shut up,
okay, it's two plus 2.
You're gonna get the rat rack treatment.
2 plus 2 is still 4.
No,
right?
it's 5. 2 plus 2 equals 5.
Just when you think you know.
From Jimmy Dimples. Masks cost nothing. Is she cracked? A box of 5 disposable wow. $17 for 5 disposable masks? You got ripped off, I think.
Yeah, what Walmart are you going to?
At Walmart, $17 for 5 disposable. They must be really good masks. Maybe these are the kind that sort of work. I don't know, but
wait a minute.
Somebody's getting ripped off
so
there.
These aren't the masks that they make in that sweatshop.
They can't be. They can't be. Those are the kind I wear all the time. Now, when I'm forced to wear them.
Do they smell like feet? Look at that. Look at that. I mean, they're on the floor. They're falling off the table. They're right next to that guy's nasty bare feet.
And these guys are like half dressed, too.
They're wife beaters. I
Yep.
mean, oh, gross.
Yep. That's just super nasty.
But don't worry. You wear that, and then you can get your freedom back. All right?
Because it's a symbol of freedom.
It's a symbol of freedom.
That's what it is.
Oh, my goodness. I'm over it. I'm so over this world.
Yeah, my wife bought a package of 50 of them, and she's way too, we'll call it thrifty, to pay $17 for 5. I know she didn't pay, 5 times that for 50.
And see, what I thought you were going to say by saying she's way too thrifty is that I thought you were going to say that she's just using the same one for like 6 weeks at a time.
And we've done that. And we have done that. And I was hearing somebody's story the other day about a woman, and I think she was a healthcare professional too, but she was reusing her mask or something, and then she got sick. And she had the fever, and she had the aches, and lost her sense of smell and taste, and all those things. And they wouldn't let her husband see her because obviously she had COVID, and nobody could come visit her. But the husband, because she wasn't getting any better, they kept treating her as if she was a COVID victim. While they were waiting for the test to come back, he's saying, treat her for other things. I don't think she's got COVID. Treat her for something else. So they finally did a test, found out she had Legionnaire's disease that she got from re-wearing the mask over and over and over again. But don't worry about it. Masks are effective. They've always been effective. We've never said they weren't.
And just you wait, this Legionnaire's disease thing that happened as she was wearing the mask, just wait till all the issues that people are going to have 5, 10, 20 years from now, from this era of having their breathing restricted.
Yeah.
I'm serious. There's going to be an explosion. You're going to see a lung disease graph. Just write it on a calendar. 5, 10, 20 years. And then all of a sudden you see a spike. Oh, my goodness. What happened in 2022, 2024? What's going on here?
Yeah. Texas Lori D tweets, Black lives in the womb won't be safe in Joe Biden's America. Just saying. Petty Officer America, the nurses would blow in Joe's nostrils and would cause his arms to move like one of those inflatable tube men you see at used car dealerships. So that's what it was. All right.
They might be doing that on stage at the Democratic Convention.
And they'd blow in my nostrils, and then I'd move. What?
Joe.
What?
Stop.
We got a really good illustration of what this year is all about. This is kind of a fun video of, the days we miss. Remember the days back in 2019?
Hold on. I got to change my mindset here.
Yeah.
Wow, that far back? You want us to go back that far?
Yeah.
2019.
Yeah,
okay,
way back in time.
All right.
And here's an illustration of 2019 compared to 2020 for you.
All right, so 2019 on the left here in the
roller
coaster ride here. 2020 on the right. Okay, that's a phrase that pays. Janice, this hurts. That's right. I mean, that's
nice illustration of it. That's what we go through every single day. By the way, scientists have strapped a tiny camera to a beetle to test just how small video technology can get.
Oh, what a great day for you to be making the 1984 analogies.
Giving us, giving user a bug's eye view of the world. Researchers at the University of Washington have developed the technology to test the potential of miniature cameras. Their device weighs about 250 milligrams, around 1/10 of the weight of a playing card. Wow. And streams video to a smartphone at 1 to 5 frames per second.
Oh,
look at that.
Boy, never mind the birds, man. Now we've got the beetles flying around to worry about with cameras on their backs.
That's really something.
Art Bell, God rest his soul, 20 years ago, said this day would come.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. He was
cameras
big.
on beetles?
Oh, he said bugs. Cameras the size of bugs will be monitoring us. Ta-da!
Sitting on a mechanical arm that can pivot 60 degrees, the camera allows a viewer to capture a high-resolution panoramic shot or track a moving object, as well as recording everything an insect sees.
Okay.
It could be used as the eyes for small robots, but its development, which showed how recording devices could potentially shrink until virtually invisible, raise concerns about privacy. No.
What?
Come on.
Oh, my goodness. What are you, some conspiracy theorist? What
concern
is going
could you
on?
have? Like, the government's like your best friend. You don't trust the government? What are you, some kind of conspiracy nut?
Oh, my goodness. That tinfoil on your head?
What is the matter with you? We've created a low-power, low-weight wireless camera system that can capture a first-person view of what's happening from an actual live insect or create vision for small robots.
Oh, this is going to get good.
And then, of course, we got all the birds out there monitoring us. Because they killed all the birds. There are no birds anymore. Birds aren't real.
Right. Birds aren't real. Do you have flies infesting your house right now?
No, I have very few flies in my area. They can't afford the neighborhood, I think, is what they're doing.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
That's what it is?
I don't know. It's really weird. It's the only place I've ever lived where we don't have... I mean, we can leave the door open all day, and we usually don't get any flies in there. It's weird.
I wish you hadn't have told me this.
Why?
Oh, we've got
You got a fly problem?
Yes, and we're not the only ones. You'll look at these neighborhood apps and stuff. Everybody's got a fly. Every summer in Texas, there's some infestation of something. Sometimes it's fun and cute, cuddly little geckos. Okay?
Oh, yeah, we got lots of geckos.
Okay, well, you had grasshoppers some summers. Last summer, or whatever it was, the army worms a couple summers ago. Oh, destroyed my lawn. This year, it's the flies.
Really?
And now it all makes sense because when I'm swatting them, all these like little springs and stuff and camera lenses start flying all over the place. Now I see what the deal is.
Now you know why.
Seriously, it is ridiculous, the fly situation this year. You should come over sometime and take some. You could take some back home with you from my house if you need some.
However, no roads exist between our homes.
Okay.
It's just kind of the problem still.
Well, that stinks.
All right, let me tell you about, first of all, let me show you this. How not to get your dog to eat vegetables.
Oh, this does not work. This does not work. It's, they fed this dog like a spinach leaf or something, and look at him. He's like, all right, wait, whoa. Whoa.
Thought he was onto something and then realized,
whoa.
Did you just try to feed me spinach?
No, you didn't.
You spit it out. Yeah, that's my reaction. Vegetables, too. And it's my dog. My dog is really finicky, and she won't even eat like really delicious fruits. Bananas. If a banana falls on the floor, she won't touch it. If any kind of sweet fruit falls on the, she doesn't touch it. And her dry kibble dog food, she barely touched. I mean, it took her all day to eat it. Then you sprinkle on Rough Greens Vitasmart, and she absolutely loves it. Eats it in one sitting, gobbles it up. It's amazing to watch because it's really good for her, but she enjoys the taste. And I enjoy the fact that she's getting vitamins and minerals and antioxidants, the probiotics, the omega oils. It's a long list of really healthy stuff that was all burned out in the dog food that she eats because they sterilize it so that it will last over 3 centuries on a store shelf. So keep in mind, this isn't a dog food. It's a dog food supplement that makes your dog's food taste really good and is just so healthy for them. You don't have to take my word for it. Take the Rough Greens 14-day Jumpstart Challenge for just $14.95 and see if you don't find a difference in your dog in 14 days or less. If you want to see your dog thrive, again, just go to roughgreens.com/blaze. That's RUFF greens.com/blaze.
This is Pat Gray Unleashed.
By the way, you can proudly wear Pat Gray merch wherever you go. There's all kinds of good stuff, and we're adding to it all the time. We just got that Cardinal Joe Tobin. I don't know. Go ask Cardinal Joe Tobin of Newark. You have that T-shirt now, which would be fun to explain to somebody who's not familiar.
Boy, how would that conversation go?
I'm going to leave that to you.
Who's Cardinal Joe Tobin of Newark? What is that?
Well, he's the decider. He decides all things. And then you turn them onto the show so they can understand it for themselves. That's what you do.
There you go.
But go to shop.blazemedia.com/Pat _squiggly line
again
/.
Again, you're making it harder than it needs to be.
Shop.blazemedia.com/Pat.
Full stop.
Okay. Wow, it's just that easy. Okay.
Full stop.
All righty. Marco Rubio tried to do us all a favor and declassify UFO secrets. I thought that movement already happened, but I guess not because Rubio's still pushing for it. This legislation would require the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, which oversees the 17 intelligence agencies, to work with the Pentagon and other relevant agencies to produce a detailed report outlining what the U.S. government knows about UFOs. I would love that. How great would that be?
Yeah.
Including their origin, frequency, and potential threat to U.S. national security, which has to be minimal. I mean, if they're really here and they've been here all this time, and clearly they've got superior technology and could have wiped us out a long time ago, if that was their goal. Rubio's efforts follow the April release of by the Navy of 3 unclassified UFO videos that were leaked online. He said, look, here's the interesting thing for me about all this, and the reason I think it's an important topic, okay? We have things flying over our military bases and places where we're conducting military exercises, and we don't know what it is, and it isn't ours. So that's a legitimate question to ask. I would say that, frankly, that if something's outside this planet, if it's something from outside this planet, that might actually be better. Well, of course it's better than if it would be Chinese or Russian.
Mm-hmm.
There's no question about that. Or some other adversary that allows them to conduct this sort of activity. Yeah, it'd be much better if it's extraterrestrial. And so
he's trying.
Let's hear it. Let's see it. Let's know about it. Tired of the secrets.
Well,
wouldn't you love to know?
Yeah, in hindsight, I bet a lot of people are wishing they'd voted for Marco Rubio for president.
Right?
Sounds like he would have...
could get that done with an executive order.
Spilled the beans there, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd like to know. Absolutely.
Coming up in a few minutes, we're going to share this this video about Americans and what they know about our history. It's I don't know how many we have to see of these before we finally do something about it. What are we going to do about it, though?
Take care of your kids.
Yeah.
Take care of your own kids. If everybody took care of their own kids instead of letting the state raise them for you.
And even if they're in public school, nothing says you can't supplement that learning with some learning at home. You know, maybe you can teach them about American history because they're probably not getting it at school. But we'll show you the fascinating knowledge spilling out of Americans all over. It looks like they're at a beach here.
Yeah.
We'll share that.
Are they wearing masks? Are they wearing masks?
Not a one of them that I can see. Nope. 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. Some tweets here. Piltdown Posse. The people of Portland are like some newly discovered tribe in the Amazon. First contact is the most dangerous encounter. The Tool in New Jersey tweets, so put the mask on and we get our liberties back? That's like take this vaccine and you'll get to go back outside. The loss of freedom got worse after 9/11 with the TSA and NSA and the rest of this so-called safety for the public. And
seriously,
they're using all of these disasters. Never let a good crisis go to waste.
And I just remarked the other day, I said, man, remember the simple times? And I wasn't being flippant. Just after 9/11, terrorists attacked us. We knew who the bad guys were. Let's go get them and get back to our way of life, right? Now, everything is so open-ended. You don't know what one day is going to bring.
And we can't agree on any of it either. Relentless Daring, $17 for 5 masks. Somebody's making money. Somebody's making money. Blaze Addict 2, kids in masks 3 years later. Why do all these kids have asthma? Gosh, I don't know.
Global warming. It's pollution.
Right.
It's from pollution.
Thank you. From point of personal privilege.
Quick point of privilege.
Yeah.
Quick point of personal privilege.
Yeah. Point of personal privilege.
Go ahead. Yes. Sure.
Please do not use gendered language to address everyone.
Okay. With all of these mask mandates and public shaming of those not wearing masks, I don't think it's irridiculous. There's a new word for you, Pat. To say maskism is the new racism.
Yeah.
Yep. And we need another problem like that, don't we?
Oh boy, we just we find new things to argue about every other day.
Just another point of contention for the U.S. people. That's great.
This is good. We're gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Don't even worry about it.
I mean, overreacting.
Daniel C. Hey guys, don't worry about the masks. Saw a story where one was wrapped around a bird's feet. They'll be banned shortly. Yeah, if you start affecting the animals. Of course, here's the problem. Birds aren't real. They're just not real.
Oh, see?
Yeah, remember that problem? Yeah.
Okay.
If you don't, check out, was it last week's show when we discussed the birds aren't real thing? Bovine scatology. Where did you guys get the file footage of Jeffy at the amusement park?
Oh, no, honey.
B. DeModine. I'm not going to worry about bugs with cameras until they train them to actually follow someone and not run around all willy-nilly. Don't kid yourself. They already got that going. All right. We were talking about the protesters vandalizing the Democrat mayor of Oakland and her house. They defaced it. They were firing fireworks off in her neighborhood at 2 o'clock in the morning. So I'm sure the neighbors loved it as well. That had to be fun for everybody concerned. Absolutely great. And one of the neighbors was quoted afterwards.
Those people who peacefully protest, who aren't making a mess and leaving trash and destroying someone's property, that I respect. And I agree with the need for us to make some changes with our police department. So I'm right there with them. But when people damage property, it defeats our cause.
She's right there with them, though.
At 2 in the morning? You respect them?
She's right there. No, we don't need to. Can we stop this mostly peaceful thing? They're not peaceful. It's not peaceful when you're showing up at somebody's house at 2 o'clock in the morning and you're acting like this and you're spray painting their home and you're vandalizing their property. It's not okay to do this, and it isn't peaceful. We need to stop siding with these psychos who are completely lawless and creating chaos all over this country. It's not okay to take over sections of cities illegally. It is not okay to riot and loot and beat people you don't agree with. None of that is peaceful. And let's stop talking about how they're so peaceful, mostly. No, they're not. They're encouraging all of this stuff, and they're showing up. This is getting so dangerous. How do you think it began in the French Revolution? At first, they started showing up at the palace. Then they started showing up and breaking things. Then they started showing up and dragging people out of their bedrooms and killing them. I mean, do we not see any warning signs here? Really? Are we this stinking stupid where we're going to continue to side with these psychos? Stop it. Stop it. President Trump has threatened to send federal officers to Oakland, like he's done in Portland.
And Chicago.
He said, Oakland is a mess. We're not going to let this happen in our country. On Monday, the day before the vandalism on her home, this is what I'm talking about. Mayor Schaaf called the threat, quote, a racist dog whistle, unquote. Okay, now how do you feel, Puddin'? Now how do you feel? Now that they showed up at your house in the middle of the night and defaced it, is it still a racist dog whistle? Again, this is what happens. This is what comes of coddling them. They're just emboldened. And then they take the fight to you, and now all of a sudden you don't like it. Exactly what happened in Seattle. And it'll happen in Portland, and it's already happened in Oakland. So wake up.
And all of these far-left mayors where these riots are happening and federal police forces coming in there, and they're screaming, hey, this is over the top. President Trump, you shouldn't be doing this, I'm sorry, you got to stop coddling. This is exactly what we expected, right? It's if you're gonna coddle the criminal elements in your communities, then the federal government is going to crack down, and unless you can train your Antifa protesters to not attack federal buildings. I mean, maybe that's what you do to give them just cause. But this is so dangerous on so multiple levels here. You've got lawlessness in the cities. And now you've got a big government crackdown from the federal level. This doesn't end well one way or the other. And what has happened is these mayors have tried to coexist with these far left radicals, and now it's out of control. And I guarantee you, we're gonna see more of these Chaz type autonomous zones in places.
They're trying it all the time.
Absolutely, it's just bad, man. We're in a bad place.
I don't know why you'd say that when
breaking news, right? They're in a heads up here, in case you didn't know, things suck.
Somebody went to the beach to ask people about American history because one of the things that can prevent this is some knowledge, maybe, of where we've been in the past, so we know what to do in the present and see what's coming in the future.
This is going to help?
This will help, yeah. Watch what happens when they're asked about history.
Who did we gain our independence from? Here we go.
What?
George Washington.
Stop it for a second. So, okay, now let's let that soak in for a second. Let's just start that over.
Did she say George Washington?
The question is, who do we gain our independence from? And it's like a question she's like, what?
What is the word? Can you define independence?
All right, start this again.
Who did we gain our independence from? What? George Washington.
From George Washington,
what
yeah.
What year did we
great.
gain our independence from Great Britain?
In 1492.
What was the name of the war that won us our independence?
The Civil War? World War II. One. I don't know.
Niner.
I didn't pay attention in history.
Who won the Revolutionary War?
The South.
Who was the first president of the United States?
Bill. I think his name
How
is
many
Bill.
letter A's are in the word independence?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know how to spell that. So I'm gonna say 3.
A-E-N-G-A-N-C.
Oh, you're the English teacher. I'm so embarrassed.
What do Americans celebrate on the 4th of July?
Oh my gosh. That's one of the worst I've seen.
Yeah. What was the first president again?
Wow. Bill.
President Bill?
Bill. Mm-hmm.
You look
President
like an
Bill.
idiot.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I didn't.
Come on, everybody knows President Bill.
I was a little bit afraid to guess, and now I know.
Yeah, now you know.
President Bill. He was the first president of the United States. Huh.
So if you're on the beach this weekend, I don't know, over at Grapevine Lake or whatever, and somebody walks up to you and says, "Who is the first president of the United States?" Now you know.
Bill.
President Bill.
President Bill.
So.
And we gained our independence from George Washington. That tyrant. I mean, when George Washington cracked down on the colonies.
Remember when he had control of the entire empire? Oh, man.
It took some convincing.
It did.
And it took a lot
it took a bloody civil war to rid ourselves of him, too.
Yeah, when we broke away during World War I.
And how about the English teacher not able to spell the word independence? That's pretty exciting as well.
That's the tragic thing of social... Well, there's so many tragic things on social media, but... When something like the 4th of July comes around and you're seeing the hashtags that are trending, like Independence Day and Independence Day is trending, you think, dear Lord, it's over. It is over, man.
So it should be no surprise after you see that video to hear this poll about millennials and Generation Z more likely to think the Founding Fathers are villains than heroes.
Shocker, right?
According to the results of a poll recently by Fox News, respondents 18 to 30 were most likely to describe the founders of America as villains.
Shock poll.
Millennials and Gen Zs were also more likely to call for the removal of statues, obviously, of George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and approve kneeling during the national anthem, which, by the way, has nothing to do with the flag or the military. Because we don't listen to anything going on or anything said by the founder of that movement, who has told us otherwise. The poll it was just a random national sample of just over 1,000 registered voters. So that's a good thing. They can vote too.
Oh, no.
That's a really good thing.
No.
In general, do you believe the founders of our country are better described as villains or as heroes? 31% of respondents under 30 said they believed the founders were villains. The statistics regarding this question trended negatively among the other age groups, with 23% saying of respondents saying 30 to 45%. No. Aged 30 to 45, 10% of those aged 45 to 65, and 6% of those over 65 said they were villains. Okay. So 45 to 65, only 6%. Now, you're going to have 5 or 6 or 7 or 8% of any poll being, the stupid people.
Yeah. The problem is that 30% mark of the young folk.
Respondents over 65 constituted the majority of those who would call the founders heroes at 77%. Okay, so 30% believed the founders were villains of those people under 30.
Yeah, so if you're under 30, 30% of them think they're villains.
If you're 30 to 45, 23% think they're villains. How do you... Again... If this is what you believe, good Americans, if this is what you believe, well, what's going to happen to this country when they take over, which they're going to do? I mean, the time is not far off where the 30 to 45-year-olds are all going to be in office. And they believe strongly, many of them, that the founders are villains. So what kind of governance are we going to get?
Well, we're there now. We got AOC, right?
Right.
She's 8, 9?
I think she's 29 or 30 now. You got the AOCs of the world, the Ilhan Omars. This is why those people are getting elected to office.
Yeah, she's 37.
Wow.
And it's playing out nicely, huh?
Isn't it, though?
Oh, boy.
Wow. All right, let me take a minute and tell you about Real Estate Agents I Trust. When you try to sell your home, it is a big challenge. And it's also most likely the biggest investment you'll ever make in your life. And so you want things done right. You want to be able to sell your home quickly and for the most money. Because if you don't sell it quickly, the price is just going to go down. It's almost inevitable. So you need a realtor who can suggest all the changes in your house that need to be made, whether it's paint or countertops or whatever. Or maybe it's fine. Just sell it as is, and that's the better way to go. But you need that advice. And you need the people who are out in the marketplace all the time and hearing what people want. And I'll give you a clue. They're mostly racist. They want the walls painted white. That just seems to be the thing right now. White everything. White countertops. White walls. It just shows you the extreme racism, doesn't it?
That's systemic there.
Yeah, it's systemic. It is systemic. Anyway, if you want to sell your home quickly and for the most money, or maybe you're buying a house, or you're doing both because you're relocating, super important to have the right realtor. This is Glenn's company, and they've vetted all of these agents to make sure they're the best in your area. Real Estate Agents I Trust. The name really says it all. RealEstateAgentsITrust.com. That's RealEstateAgentsITrust.com. 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter, where Kyle tweets, sorry, those masks weren't as much as I reported. Turns out it's $17.94 for 25 in a box, not 5. I was stupid. Apologize. Yeah, stupid. I'm not sure that covers it.
Wow.
Wow.
I mean, that's pretty egregious. You know what?
So $17.94, about $18 for 25 masks in a box.
Yeah, and that's Jimmy Dimples who made that error.
Oh, man.
And don't you dare make it again.
Don't ever.
Okay.
Just too much and fudge. So when we inevitably are eating bugs, we need to be careful not to swallow the cameras. Right, yes. And the UN, by the way, continues to push that pretty heavily.
Seriously, what is going on with that?
From Sweet Pea, that sucks because the beetle camera bugs are going to get me from my worst angle.
Yeah. True.
Yep. Okay. And we got this a product of the younger generation's education prowess. You know, somebody who shows us how brilliant they can be, how smart they are on a regular basis. Greta Thunberg. She has accused EU politicians, European Union politicians, of failing to acknowledge the scale of the climate crisis, and said that 750 billion euros of COVID-19 recovery money does not do enough to tackle the issue. She's right about that. She's right. What did we decide it was going to take recently? It was 1.4 quadrillion or something. I mean, they're not even close with 70. I spit at 750 billion euros.
Mm-hmm.
The climate campaigner said the package of measures agreed to by the EU leaders proved that politicians were still not treating the climate change as an emergency.
How dare you?
They are still denying the fact and ignoring the fact that we're facing a climate emergency, she said. And the climate crisis has still not once been treated as a crisis. As long as the climate crisis is not being treated as a crisis, it says it this many times, the changes that are necessary will not happen.
Crisis.
On this crisis.
Wait, she didn't even mix in a crises?
No, she did not.
Because you gotta mix that in.
Maybe it's coming. Huh. And now this is somebody else.
Oh well, that's too bad. Honestly,
this is somebody else in the school strike movement.
Okay.
We are asking our leaders to take care of the most fundamental thing, the safety of us, the safety of people around the world, the safety of our futures. It is worrying on a democratic level when you ask for such substantial things, which seem so obvious, and yet you see how leaders are widely ignoring it or not considering it to be as important as other things. Yeah, it isn't. It isn't as important. You're not going to be able to control the weather, thus the climate, Puddin'. You're not going to do it. If it isn't necessary, even if there is some warming, it is not catastrophic. Would you please, by all that is holy, do just a little research. Read somebody else who might be able to help you see the other side just a little bit. Can you even come an inch our way on the fact that this is not cataclysmic? The answer, of course, is no.
There's just too many crises going on, Pat, that
And it's almost like they want to believe it's coming in 9 years. Like Biden just irresponsibly said.
Science tells us we have 9 years.
No, it doesn't. No.
Before the damage is irreversible.
No, it doesn't. No scientist says that. There are no respected scientists who say we're 9 years or 10 or 12 years away from cataclysm. Nobody says any. Not even the UN's IPCC. Not even they do. I really wish that somebody would read Michael Schellenberger's book. Apocalypse Never is what it's called. Apocalypse Never. And he actually goes to the sources of the people who supposedly says those things, the IPCC and other scientists. Goes right to them. And in every case, they've denied they said that. In every case, they've been misunderstood. The UN isn't saying that there's a climate crisis, that there's extinction happening. There is no extinction level crisis coming to humankind. At least not from the climate. We might kill ourselves through stupidity, but the climate's not going to. Just asinine. And that's why Schellenberger wrote the book, because he's so concerned about people like Greta Thunberg. All our kids are going nuts over this thing. Because they're being told they don't have a future. So irresponsible. It's criminal. It's to the point of being criminal. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Pathead Zag Dolan tweeted this out yesterday. I received a text saying that even though I would wear a mask at work, that because I didn't believe in the mask, that I wasn't on the same page with my employer. So I was let go. What?
Yeah, he's been arguing with his employer. He didn't want to wear a mask. He finally agreed to wear a mask, and then his employer sent him
And now
a
because
text.
he doesn't believe in it?
Yeah, you just don't believe in it, so...
Wait, I have to believe in your stupidity?
We need you on the same page here at this company.
I think that's grounds for a lawsuit.
Right, that's right.
I think that's grounds for a lawsuit.
Lawyer up. They fired him and his daughter. If that's the extent of this situation.
Wonder what he does. What do you do, Zag? Call us at 888-900-3393. I'd like to hear, who do you work for? Oh, my gosh.
I mean, it's out of control, man.
Because you don't believe in it?
It's not enough to wear the mask at your employer's insistence.
So it's the thought police now. You've been fired by the thought police. I like that. That's great.
What was
we
that?
need more of that.
There was some book you mentioned.
Yeah,
at the
there was a
beginning
book.
Of the show today. What was
Thought police, newspeak, lies.
Was it Good Night Moon? It was a Good Night Moon.
No, 1984, I think, is what it was. Good Night Moon. Yeah, it was Good Night Moon.
It was a Good Night Moon.
Yeah.
Good night, America. That's what it is. My word.
Holy cow, because you don't believe in the mask wearing. That's pretty amazing.
That is pretty amazing.
Welcome again to 2020. Hope you're having a great time.
I am.
Me
for
too.
Sure.
Me
for
too.
Sure.
888-900-3393. Great to have you with us. Thanks for being here. 888-900-3393. A couple of interesting things. We're 103 days away from Election Day now. Just 103 days. Oof. Amazing. Also, Major League Baseball starts tonight. It's finally here. Opening day in the springtime when it's 1,008 degrees outside. In Texas, at least.
Yeah, and the Blue Jays still don't have a place to play because Pittsburgh, the state of Pennsylvania, denied their request to play their home games at PNC Park.
And why can't they play in Canada? They can't go back and forth across the border or whatever?
They're a team without a home. So
darn it. What are they going to do?
I think right now the plan is to show up in the cities where of the teams they're going to play and be the home team. But I don't know why they don't just come over here to Arlington and use the Rangers ballpark. I mean, sure, it's 100 degrees and you're from Canada and you'll probably melt, but at least you'll have a home.
Got a place to play, though.
Yeah. Come on down.
And no fans, right? In the stadium, or can they?
For now.
For now, no fans.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. That's why they're doing the cardboard cutouts, maybe, in some of the stadiums. I'd like to see him fill the whole thing with cardboard cutouts.
Boy, I can't wait for it to rain on these stadiums, too.
On the cardboard cutouts, or is there some other? Okay.
Yeah, because that'd be kind of fun.
That would be kind of fun.
I'm looking. You said 103 days before the election?
That's what there was a little thing on
I'm
Fox News
just
about that.
scrolling through the states here.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot who it was. I just went by it. 45 days, or let's see, 40 days in Illinois you can vote ahead of the election.
Early voting.
45 in Michigan.
Early voting.
46 in Minnesota.
I think that's too soon. That is way too soon for early voting.
So much can happen.
Yeah. Yeah, that's way too soon. Stop it.
So are we...
I don't mind the 2-week period, but come on, 2 months.
South Dakota, 46. So are we... This is on-the-fly Keith math, so you check it on your own. Do your own homework. Are we 57 days away from voting in some states there, it looks like?
Wow.
Something like that?
Something like that.
Yeah, that's right.
I didn't really do the math, but yeah, I'm going to take your word for it.
Trust me, I'm always right on math, man.
All right, let's go to, you know what? We asked for Zach to call, and he did. He's the one who was fired for, I guess, not believing. He was fired for his thought crime. Zach in Maine, hi, you're on the Blaze.
Hi, how's it going? It's an honor to be here.
It's great to have you. So you were fired. First of all, you were fighting against the mask, and then you said, okay, I'll wear one. And that wasn't good enough because you didn't believe in them?
Yeah, it wasn't even so much resistance or fighting. I simply, I've been out of work since around March, and they've been waiting to call us back.
Mm-hmm.
And I went in to take a tour to see the changes they've made. And they said, we'd be wearing a mask, and it's a very hot environment. I have a strenuous job moving seafood. I'm climbing up and down ladders. I have diabetes. I'm also a fat man. I get warm. I overheat.
Okay.
So I just expressed that concern.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, okay, well, we'll look into a face shield, and you could do this, you could do that. I also mentioned perhaps getting a doctor's note. They said they wouldn't be comfortable with that I'd have to wear something, so I agreed to a face shield. And 2 days after purchasing it, as it's coming in the mail, they texted me to let me know that me and my daughter would no longer be required, specifically because I don't believe in the face mask. She told me that she needed people that were on the same page, and that whether I wore the mask or not, if I didn't believe in keeping the other employees safe.
Unreal. And you have that. Did they email you that?
Text.
I have the text, and I plan on tweeting it. I just was able to edit her cell phone number and her name.
Okay.
That way I'm not, doxing her or something.
Right. Yeah, you don't want to do that.
I want people to see the text, but I don't want her to receive any harassment or anything.
You need a lawyer to see that text.
You need to make sure you don't delete that text. You can save it in your phone and show it to your attorney later this afternoon when you hire one.
Yeah, we are going to look into that.
That's crazy.
Financially, we're not great, to get a lawyer, but if we can find something free, like a Pine Tree Legal or something, would be a very big help.
Right.
But I'm thinking if you get
we live in an at-will state, so I'm not sure what my rights are.
Mm-hmm. Well, look, I bet you could find a free consultation from some attorney who, when he hears the specifics,
and somebody who takes it on contingency, and you only pay if you win. But I can't imagine it's okay to fire somebody for their belief structure or the things that they think. That's so wrong. Appreciate it, Zach.
Very, very 1984.
I was about to say.
Yes, it is.
Exactly that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
it is.
It's the 2 + 2 = 5 scene.
Right.
It's okay that you said it, Wally, but you don't believe it.
Right. That's right. Appreciate the call. Thanks, and good luck. Hope you find something soon.
Keep us updated. Yeah, keep us updated.
If I can make a suggestion, Pat, I would like that no matter what happens with the football season, I'm really, really waiting for some more on trivia.
Yeah, it's, appreciate the call. Thanks. That's probably a good idea because we need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need a day where we just screw around and that would enable us to do that.
And feel free to direct message me some more on trivia questions because I may or may not have a lot ready for the new season.
Okay. You may or may not?
Yeah, I'm leaning toward may not.
Huh. That's weird.
So.
All right, 888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. St. Fauci of DCC. New poll out.
Oh, no, what?
On St. Francis of DCC.
Okay.
65% of people in America still trust him, no matter what.
What is that number?
65%.
Is it down?
It's about the same. It's right around the same as it was last month. They just continue to just support him no matter what. I mean, it doesn't get much higher than 65% approval or trust in anything. I think the military might be around 70%, but then it's St. Fauci of DCC right after that with 65%, because nobody else has that kind of trust. Certainly not the president. Certainly not Congress. But he continues to be beloved.
Do New Yorkers trust Andrew Cuomo?
I haven't seen a poll in a while, but there was a point when he was at 80% approval.
Wow, what a...
because he killed everybody who disagreed with him. So you had that going on, and so that was fun.
Man, I tell you, that electorate.
We got some interesting COVID numbers here. This is fascinating. Let me show you these charts. U.S. COVID numbers as of July 19th. So this was 4 days ago. Okay. The green shows 1 dot equals 100,000 citizens. So the green dots in the upper left-hand corner of this. Do we have the graph or not?
Well, let's see here. We got Texas here. I don't know that I may not have sent the American one.
You didn't send the other one. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay, the Texas... We'll go with just Texas then. Each dot equals 5,000 Texas residents.
Okay. The gray ones. Okay.
So,
all right. So the green is the percentage of Texans that have been tested.
Right. And then the blue
are cases.
Okay. And then the the yellow.
Yeah. No.
It's
orange,
red.
Whatever it is.
Orange, yellow, whatever it is.
Good luck seeing that dot. That represents the deaths.
And you can't even see it.
You literally cannot even see. It's 1 dot. Look at that. Nice job, Rob. Orange dot right there. See that right there?
Not really, but let me see.
Got an arrow for you.
Okay.
I got an arrow.
And it's kind of similar to that. I mean, it's a little more easily visible on the U.S. chart.
Mm-hmm.
But
here, since I failed to send him that one, here's the U.S. chart. Which camera you want to go to that one? Here we go. All right, so here's the United States of America. First day on TV, everybody. Okay, so see the corner up here? That's the number over here, Keith. I could never make it as a weatherman. That corner there are the tests. That little line right below it?
The blue
here
are the infections.
Let's see here.
And then the red are deaths.
Yeah, the red, you can't even see the red because it's so small.
So tests given so far.
Yeah.
This is the place that we've blown the testing thing so badly. It's pathetic how bad we are at testing. We've only tested 47,313,367 so far.
We've shut down our economy.
4.3 million positive cases, and 142,000 deaths. So those are the U.S. numbers.
Mm-hmm.
The Texas numbers, just to let you know, are 2.9 million, so almost 3 million tests, 325,000 positives, and 3,958 deaths.
So remember, these little dots, whether it's the Texas map or the U.S. map, and every state has similar looking charts floating around out there that have been put together. How many of these were from COVID patients put in nursing homes? Or how many had other pre-existing conditions? How many have been in prisons? All these lives are worth living, okay? That's not the point. The point is we have completely decimated our way of life and our economies based on this infinitesimal number of cases and deaths. It's madness, man. It's the election year flu.
I mean, more people have been killed by the Clintons. Come on.
Put it in perspective, see?
Put it into perspective.
And I don't know that that's your best argument, since the Clintons have, the number's high.
It is high.
Quite high.
It is high. But they're only 2 people. I mean, look at how many people they've killed.
Right?
All right. Let me take 60 seconds and tell you about Omega XL. Pain is frustrating, and it's really frustrating when you can't get rid of it. And the longer it lasts, the more depressed you get and the more frustrated you become. And a lot of the pain is caused by inflammation. That's where Omega XL comes in. Omega XL, it's backed by 35 years of clinical research. It is not a drug, so it doesn't come with a bunch of side effects. And it doesn't come with that fishy aftertaste that so many of these products do have. This is the only one I can take because it doesn't have that fish aftertaste, and it works, which is fantastic. Pain relievers, the NSAIDs, the non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, they come with side effects. They might cover up the problem for a little while, but they don't shut off the inflammation, and certainly neither do topical rubs. Now, what Omega XL does is turns off the inflammation, and so the pain goes away. If you want something that's really going to work and something that's easy to take, they're just tiny little gel caps and so easy to swallow. Let's get you started here. Order one Omega XL bottle right now. Get a second for free. Buy one, get one free. Visit OmegaXL.com/Pat or call 800-844-4888. OmegaXL.com/Pat.
Pat Gray.
All right, just to counter all the madness with some potentially good news, COVID-19 vaccine trials are apparently coming to the Fort Worth area. They're actually looking for people to participate.
Oh, you going to be a part of this?
Maybe. Maybe.
Really?
Sure. Yeah. How much does it pay?
I think you're just doing humanity.
No, really?
A favor.
It's just what?
So you want to be a guinea pig, huh?
Well, it depends on how much they pay.
Yeah. I mean, does the story say how much they pay?
No.
Oh.
Not that I've seen so far.
It's for humanity.
Medical research firm is launching COVID-19 vaccines in North Texas, seeking participants. Benchmark Research announced on July 16th.
Okay.
Fort Worth has been selected to test a vaccine aimed at preventing the spread.
So let's see. What are the qualifications, Pat?
We need essential workers in particular.
Hey, this is essential. We learned early on that this is an essential job, right?
Right. So, yeah, I would qualify, I guess. But they're really looking for people in the medical field, construction workers, teachers, retail workers, delivery drivers. I've
got paperwork that says this is an essential job.
I do too.
So you've made it through the first phase. What's the second one?
They're seeking adult participants. That eliminates me. Boy.
Well, that works.
Frontline workers in regular contact with the public and likely to be exposed to the virus. Clinical trials are conducted under FDA guidelines, blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Dr. Robert Gottlieb, the principal investigator of over 10 COVID-19 trials, says researchers don't necessarily know if something works or not until it's tested.
Mm-hmm.
Finding people willing to do the research phase is the key for any study.
Here we go, man.
Without the altruism. Oh, it's just altruism. So, yeah, this is...
no.
Yeah, there's no pay involved. Sorry, you get no cash. Without altruism of citizens that want to help themselves, their family members, and the good of society, we would never be able to get the research done. We're critically reliant.
Good luck with that. I hope it works out.
They're also seeking participants over 65 and high-risk people with chronic health conditions, including obesity, Jeffy, diabetes, and heart disease. Well, I think Jeffy's got all those. So
I was going to say
he's perfect.
He's way over 65.
First of all, I heard you yesterday. Yeah, I can hear it coming.
Wait, I didn't hear the word Wookiee in there. I was waiting for that.
Like that's a Jabba the Hutt voice? Is that what you're kind of saying?
No, Jeffy walks around saying the word Wookiee at random times. That's what I meant.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
888-900-3393 and at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Let's get to this President Trump video.
Yeah, let's.
Who is he talking to here?
I don't know. Some guy at Fox News.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. So he's doing it. Man, he's done a lot of interviews with Fox lately. He did the Chris Wallace thing.
Mm-hmm.
Then he talked to, I don't know, somebody else there. And now this.
Have you seen the polls?
Let's see what he had to say.
He said there actually is, and he named it, whatever it might be. Mm-hmm. And it was 30 or 35 questions.
About
the first questions are very easy.
This is, pause it for a second. This is on the cognitive test he just took. I forgot about that. So he and Biden have been going back and forth on the cognitive tests. And he didn't like the fact, I think, that Chris Wallace said that he took the test and it was super easy. And I really think he was offended by that. And so now he's kind of defending the test. And here's what he had to say about it.
He said there actually is, and he named it, whatever it might be. And it was 30 or 35 questions. The first questions are very easy. The last questions are much more difficult. Like a memory question. It's like you'll go person, woman, man, camera,
person,
TV.
Woman, man, camera.
So they
TV.
say, could you repeat that? So I said, yeah.
Okay.
So it's person, woman, man, camera, TV.
Camera, TV.
Okay, that's very good.
That's good, man.
If you get it in order, you get extra points. If you,
Oh, nice.
Okay, now he's asking you other questions.
Extra credit.
Other questions. And then
other questions.
10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes later, they say, remember the first question? Not the first, but
Not
the
the first
10th
one.
question?
The 10th one.
Give us that again. Can you do that again? And you go person,
woman,
man,
man,
camera,
TV.
Woo!
If you get it in order,
yeah,
you get extra points.
Yes!
They said nobody gets it in order. It's actually not that easy, but for me it was easy. And that's not an easy question.
No, it's not.
They ask it to you. They give you 5 names and you have to repeat them.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
And that's
if you
okay.
repeat them out of
That's
order,
okay.
it's
Right.
okay, but
It's
you
okay.
know,
Like partial credit.
it's not as good. But then when you go back about 20, 25 minutes later and they say, go back to that question. They don't tell you this.
Yeah, see,
Go
they don't
back
tell
to
you.
that question and repeat them. Can you do it? And you
I
go,
think so. Person,
woman,
man, camera,
TV.
TV.
Oh, yes,
They say-
Pat!
Thank you. Good
That's
night.
amazing.
Drive safely,
How did
everybody.
you do that?
That's easy.
I do it because I have like
Because I'm beautiful.
a good
I'm
memory, because I'm
a stable genius.
cognitively there.
I love the lengthy explanation of the whole cognitive test.
Okay, well, let's
It's
just,
great.
let's just wait a bit, and later in this conversation, I might randomly ask you without you
Don't
expecting.
do it. Oh, wow,
Well,
really?
I kind of warned you a little bit there, so just pretend I didn't say that.
I'm looking up, so let's see if I can get this. Person, woman, man, camera, TV.
Nobody gets that.
Nobody gets that. Nobody gets that.
Wow.
It's because I'm beautiful and I'm a stable genius. Keith, that's what it is.
Obviously.
Fantastic.
My goodness.
I'm
stunned.
cognitively there. That's what I'm saying. I'm cognitively there. So he passed that.
He
passed that with flying colors. That was incredible. But here's the thing. I bet you Joe Biden can't do that.
Oh, gosh.
I would bet if you gave him that test and then you ask him 15, 20 minutes later, okay, give me those 5 words again. No way can Joe Biden do that. No way.
What are words, sir?
And if the shoe was on the other foot, the media would be asking Trump every single day to do the test.
And that's,
Nobody's going to ask Joe Biden about that. Joe, the president just showed his cognitive skills. Can you prove that you can do it as well? Let me give you the quick test. Name these 5 words in order. Is there any way he'd be able to do that? I don't think so. I do not think so. Speaking of brain power, Elon Musk claims his Neuralink chip will allow you to stream music.
Oh, good.
Directly to your brain.
Oh, that nothing. What could go wrong?
I don't think anything could it?
I mean, you're
going to get a chip in your brain?
Yeah. So you can always
I like that.
have those earworms going on right in your head.
I don't already? I already have things streaming into my brain. I got because I did that stupid census song last week. I've got Rhinestone Cowboy in my head nonstop every minute of every day.
Whose fault is that?
It's mine, unfortunately.
Right,
it's unfortunately my fault.
Yeah, and you actually had a pathead who said, he's driving around on his motorcycle, doesn't have any kind of radio or anything like that, and he could just hear you. I think it was James. I don't know. Could hear you in his head just singing the.
That one?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah. Okay.
Y'all are welcome for that. Yeah. So now you can just stream it straight to your gray matter.
Right.
To
this is great.
Elon Musk.
So Musk says that it will allow wearers to stream music directly to their. That's really something. Wow. And you're welcome. And that's going to cost you a lot less than Musk's chip. I promise you that.
See, so Jim Ward,
I did it for free,
who sent this tweet in about how he just hears Pat singing in his head all the time. You no longer need to worry about a helmet with a speaker or earbuds or anything like that.
No, you just get it right in your head. How weird is that?
That's not good.
That it goes directly to your brain?
I don't like it.
That is just bizarre.
I'm going to pass.
It could also help control hormone levels and use them to our advantage with enhanced abilities in reasoning, anxiety relief. The technology could first be used to help people suffering from brain diseases like Parkinson's.
No, it sounds safe.
But the ultimate aim of Neuralink is to allow humans to compete with advanced artificial intelligence.
Oh, no.
That's an interesting aspect of it because
now you're starting to get people interested.
But that's what Musk is all about. He's worried about the AI.
Yeah.
He's been worried about AI for a long time and warning people this is going to be the death of us. And so that's another of the reasons he's trying to leave the planet to escape AI and global warming.
And I mean this with respect to Zach, who called, who doesn't want to wear a mask. You know, this employer doesn't have to argue with AI to wear a mask. You know, there's no risk in a virus being transmitted by some AI creature that's doing a task. Oh boy, I don't know. By the way, real quick pop quiz. Can you name the 5 words earlier that you were trying to recite? Any chance that time has passed?
Time has passed,
and I don't know that you're able to do this, but I'd love to
say
this.
Person, woman, man.
Wow, yeah.
Camera.
Oh yeah.
TV. Huh?
I am
a very
I'm
stable genius.
I am stunned that you knew that.
It's cognitively there. Okay, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. I'm cognitively there. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. 888-900-3393. Use that number tomorrow when we're here with Jeffy. Just screwing around.
Yeah. So you're gonna take a walk down the hallway here now, right?
I am.
Where are you going?
Hanging out with Glenn today.
You're not gonna go and finish your conversation with the security guard that we interrupted when the show started earlier?
No.
Okay.
I don't have time for that.
So you're gonna be on the Glenn Beck now.
Yep. Okay. See you tomorrow and on GlennNet.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.